I apologize for my delay. It is raining and quite stormy outside. So I want to bring our Natural Health News live show to you this morning. It might be a condensed, shorter version, which I'm sure all of you will appreciate. But welcome to all of you joining. Happy Sunday morning. My message this morning is keep calm and socially distance. I don't know if you guys can see this. This is one of my fun Etsy tank finds. And welcome all of you on Instagram and YouTube. Please hit the like button and let's dig into today's topic. So we're going to talk about touch deprivation, the cost of social distancing on our personal well-being, our feelings of being connected physically to people, and just the changes actually plays a big role in how we're feeling. So if you feel like you have had, sorry, Instagram, I'm going to adjust you guys. If you feel like you are kind of off because you're missing, some of the physical interactions with family members and loved ones, and just connecting with people in a physical way, today's topic is going to be really meant to aid and assist you, because I have actually, I think, 8 ways for you to therapeutically enhance your connection and touch within and amongst yourselves. I know that sounds really weird. I didn't say that right. But essentially, touch therapy, very therapeutic. And when we are isolated from individuals, we have greater instances of depression, anxiety, high cortisol levels, weakened immunity, all the things we want to minimize. So we're going to deal with something called skin hunger or touch deprivation. This is a clean show, so I just want to put that out there for any trollers who join us. But let's kind of kick off. So again, welcome to all of you. Give me a thumbs up. Let me know where you guys are tuning in from. And again, the house has been shaking, lots of thunderstorms. So I'm going to try and run through this. Hopefully we won't lose power. It flickered a little bit, and it's part of my delay this morning. So, okay, the U.S. is almost at, like we're 10,000 less than 750,000 cases, which is pretty insane, given that we have a testing deficiency. We're lacking on testing. New York now is in the 236,000 range alone. New Jersey's up to 81,000. States that are really inching up, Massachusetts is in the 3rd spot at 36,000 cases. PA is at 31,000. Florida got the hashtag trending, hashtag Florida morons trending, because they opened up one of the beaches in Jacksonville. And I think it's Marion County up, we call it up there on the top right. People declared that they're going to be traveling across state to get to a beach, and they've got limited hours, no towels and things like that. But that was really making people very upset. And so the hashtag Florida morons trended. My Florida statements from the other day continue. Some really interesting numbers today, and then I'm going to share with you some news coming out of Korea, South Korea. We've hit over 22 million unemployed Americans, and those numbers are equal to the Great Depression of our great-grandparents' time. So this is a very serious state in terms of the economic impact. We're also seeing, again, more plants being hit by the virus. So North Dakota has a new cluster. So South Dakota has 2 plants now, 2 of the pork plants that are clusters. Smithfield is the one manufacturer. So their second plant is itching up on the numbers. The North Dakota plant, I think it's in Grand Forks. Their wind power plant, it's a GE plant, they kind of set the numbers for the state. They're at 110 people in that one place. I have to apologize. I'm having allergies again. So that's kind of crazy. And then here's the other thing. Out of South Dakota, I read a report. This is really kind of new, so we're going to probably dig further into this as some time goes by. And we also see Italy and Spain potentially showcase this. But 2% of the cases, recovered cases, people who survived this virus, 2%, so 163 in South Korea, 2% have relapsed. So they're back in the hospital. They're back to being testing positive. I don't know how much of that is based on the viral shed. We know that there are like 59 days of a viral shed, and that might be a factor. That still remains to be seen, but that's just something we need to know about. And then a big thing that came out yesterday up in Massachusetts, the Pine Street shelter, they tested, it's like 363 cases, homeless individuals. 100, I think it was 160 or 180, oh, it's 162 tested positive, completely asymptomatic. So that's some new data. The CDC is actually digging further into this isolated testing situation to identify what's going on, because so many people testing positive, asymptomatic, carrying the virus, that changes this whole idea of us opening up beaches and going back to normal work. And Brian reported, one of our neighbors here locally said, he went to Home Depot, he's military, so he had the whole thing, had the gloves, glasses, the mask. And he's like, Home Depot, it was busy. He's like, I drove downtown to see what was going on. And apparently everybody's out at restaurants again. It's like business is back to normal. And I'm sure you guys are feeling that way. Comment down below if you are, but it is kind of interesting. So that's kind of some of the news I wanted to highlight. There will be obviously more that comes, but just know the CDC is diving into this heavily populated testing community that 162 have tested positive, but 0 symptoms. So, the question is the efficacy of the test, how effective are they, quality, all of that. There's also some reports I didn't really dig a whole lot into, but the CDC apparently has had issues, and one of the reasons why they're behind on rolling out tests is they had some contamination here in Atlanta. And so that is plaguing the situation as well. But anyway, let's dig into the topic at hand. Hi, everybody. So we're going to talk about something called touch starved or skin hungry. But essentially there's, and this has been studied for years. We knew this back in the 1980s with all the Romanian babies that were in orphanages that literally had no physical touch. Physical touch is a major part of our well-being. And in many cases, we just kind of take it for granted, like holding hands, patting each other on the back, so there's the work, social connection, touching connection. And then there's like the intimacy between family members and loved ones. And because we have a loss of handshakes, pats, hugs, back scratching, foot rubs, massage, scalp massage when you get your hair done, nail treatments, all of these kind of tactile related activities, those we're deprived. And whether you recognize that or not, you are deprived. We're showcasing deprivation. So I want to share with you some signs of deprivation. And then I want to share with you 8 tactile ways, very, very appropriate, very healthy, and very easy therapeutic ways for you to reintroduce those senses. And basically, this is a sense. So we are going to invigorate the touch, the sensation, the kinesthetic connectivity. So welcome to all of you new joining. This is going to be a really shorter show because we've got a crazy thunderstorm happening and the YouTube connection might be a little wonky. So just stay with me. We're going to dig right on into this. Okay, so here are some symptoms of skin hunger or touch deprivation. Feelings of depression, anxiety, stress, a lack or decrease of relationship satisfaction. And nothing's changed. You just feel frustrated, blasé, just really kind of frustrated, not feeling satisfied in your connection with individuals. Changes in sleep patterns and difficulty sleeping. And then this is not necessarily totally relative to current viral state, but a tendency to avoid secure attachments. Now that's just kind of longer term, but that is in this category. So if you feel like, in the first 2 or 3 weeks, you were like awesome with, connecting with people online, and now you're starting to, retreat, those may be some indicators. But essentially a loss of physical touch decreases our love hormone. So our love hormone is deprived. And I might retitle this this video title when I go back and do the editing of it, because it really is. We need the love hormone to keep ourselves happy and to feel satisfied, keeps our immune system humming, it keeps our state of well-being, our neurotransmitters balanced. When the love hormone itself is oxytocin, and it's what mothers get when we give birth and we cuddle our babies, and it's just like warm, ooey gooey, like happiness. I consider it like warm marshmallow clouds. Well, we lack that now, particularly when we are not close to our family, loved ones, we're by ourselves, or a limited social interaction. And the love hormone, oxytocin, reduces and balances our heart rate. It reduces and balances our blood pressure. It reduces and balances our cortisol, our stress hormone. So a lack in love hormone increases our stress hormone, which minimizes our healthy immune response. It kicks off neurotransmitter imbalances. So we see serotonin dips and even cravings for comfort foods, alcohol, unhealthy behaviors as well. Those get all tipped off by that imbalance. Comment down below if you feel like this is somewhat you, that, and even, there are some people that are way more touchy-feely than others. Those are the folks that I'm really concerned about, because that is a very key part of their love language, if you guys are familiar with the love languages. So the love languages of touch that need it and give it, their love box is empty and it's depleted and it's in a deficit. So we need to fill up all of our love boxes in the world of touch and connection and senses. So there are some therapeutic ways for us to deal with this, but we call this nerve connection. It's actually called C-tactile efference. And that is a physiological connection. When we get touched, the nerves send signals to our brain, and then our brain releases hormones and regulates our body, and our central nervous system gets balanced. When we are lacking that, the C-tactile efference, we see a decrease in oxytocin, an increase in cortisol, decrease in serotonin, our happy hormone. And then we start to see these sleep imbalances. So a lot of you have commented, I've talked a lot about the REM sleep. You've seen changes in hormones, acne, digestive changes, sleep imbalances. This is part of it. So I can't ignore this when we kind of dig into how do we keep ourselves healthy and well during this, because my mission with these live shows is to equip each and every one of you health and wellness tips to keep you and your family healthy and safe. Well, part of health is tactile health and connection to our love hormone. So we're going to dig into how to support your love hormone. And I have several different ways. I also have kind of categorized some of these, like if you are solo, by yourself, there are some things that you can do. Then there are some alternatives, like you can employ a partner to help you do some of these things. So I'm just going to kind of run down this list. So first, and I've talked about this for now over a year and a half, and I'm a huge fan of this in my life. I notice a big difference, and it is utilizing a weighted blanket. And there are substantial studies on weighted blankets. There are psychology and psychiatric facilities and tests with the major universities all analyzing using a weighted blanket. Now, it sounds really cheeky, but when we're babies, we get all like cocooned up. There's weight in the mass, and it keeps us all safe. It lowers cortisol. It increases the love hormones. So happy hearts, just kind of spewing from just feeling connected. And there are different weights in the blanket. So usually they say 10 to 15% of your body weight. On the lower end for like kids, we have 8-pound blankets all the way up to, I think the highest one is 25 at this point. And so I have a link to the one I use. I use there are two versions. There's one that just kind of has like a jersey knit. It's kind of like my robe. But then there's another one that has like these little bubbles, and it is the little tactile bubbles are also part of the therapy. But we use this for children that need tactile sensation, we use this to balance sleep, and we use this to actually reduce anxiety and level the heart rate. And so I've got to link you guys because I'm very excited. We scored a 25% off coupon. Seriously, there's already a sale and you can grab 25% even lower. So literally in some cases, you're going to get 50% off of these weighted blankets. A good quality weighted blanket is it's not cheap. But I tell you what, Brian calls it my iron curtain. The thing is totally heavy. I mean, it's 15 pounds. It weighs a lot. And I love this. Like, I pull it right up to here. I have like my whole body underneath it. And I get the best sleep. I mean, my sleep habits changed after I had Gabriel. They're back to normal with this weighted blanket. And it's part of the reason I don't sleep well when I travel. And 15 pounds is a lot to pack. I wish hotels would give us these. But it relaxes your central nervous system. It gives you the weight itself. It feels like a hug. So they have a version that like I have on my bed. Then they also have a version that's a jersey knit that you can have, down when you're watching TV, that you can wrap up in. And it's very, very powerful in terms of balancing your body. The studies on it reduces cortisol. It increases your oxytocin level. They actually test people in the time frame of being under a blanket. And like within 5, 10, 15 minutes, we're seeing changes in the happy hormone. And there is a connection. Like, we actually need to feel connected. This particular weighted blanket, it's bamboo. And so it is heavy, but it's breathable. And that's a big thing because a lot of times people who have that like sensation of they don't want to feel smothered or it's too hot, you won't feel like that. So Lily Mae Philippon, she said it's, isn't the weighted blanket too hot? Because of the breathability, it totally isn't. And in fact, when you set your temperature, you want to make sure just separate from this, but you want to make sure you have the cooler temperature at night. So we actually need to be a little cool, and the weighted blanket just is perfect. Yeah, so Betty says my son has one and he loves it. They are so fantastic. Hi, Nicole, welcome. So number one, the weighted blanket. And again, they've got variances. So kids, great for kids, especially kids with ADD, ADHD, sensory deficit disorders, really, really benefit from that. And think about like sensory deficit. That is what touch hunger or skin hunger or touch deprivation is. We have a sense that we are deprived of, and it's touch. And so we have to actually employ some of these techniques to recalibrate our central nervous system and bring it back to life. So if this is making sense, give me a thumbs up. Super powerful. Joanne, tell you what, weighted blankets, it's a game changer. It's a life changer. I love it. And I was actually introduced to one because one of our sponsors, they sponsored our 2008 or 2018 holiday healthy gift guide. And like, I knew that there was studies and there's been a whole lot more since then, but serious game changer. It's fantastic. Brian is not a fan of it. It's really heavy, but I love it. And like, it's so great. And the good thing too, just like that pillow I highlighted last week, it's bamboo, so it's really soft. And so you get the soft kind of texture, which is great. They have a jersey knit. They've got a little bit of different texture with the little bubble things. You can take it off and you can wash it, which is great. Because a lot of times, like right now, the dogs have snuck upstairs. They're all cuddling and snuggling with Brian. And they tend to get on my side that's empty and they get on my weighted blanket. So it's so fantastic. Morrison, Monica, sounds logical. I'm going to try it for sure. What's the one you use? So DM me. I can send you a link. I've got a link and a coupon code for the brand that I use. So I can send that to you. But yeah, so weighted blankets, they offer balance to the body and it gives you a hugging sensation. And it's so, so fantastic. So the second thing for all of you who have animals, pets, touching your pets, loving your pets, having them sleep near you, cuddling with them, pet therapy, it's tons and tons of research. That's why we're seeing, when there are terrible instances and abuse and gun shootings and things like that in schools, they bring in the animals during 9/11. Well, globally here, we need to bring in our animals. And so all of our animals, as you guys saw Daisy yesterday, we need to love on them more, walking them, but like literally touching them. So, giving your dog a bath, maybe more frequently, also because we're not going to the groomer. So that kind of helps too, killing two birds with one stone. Grooming them, brushing them, loving on them. That touch of your animal is very powerful. And then also having them, especially, the big dogs, like when they lay up on you, that's a hug. And so that is very impactful, especially for folks who are by themselves, just with a pet, all pets. So, this is cats, some folks have like ferrets and hamsters and gerbils, even just like touching them. Maybe you can't cuddle with them, but having more tactile experiences with your animals. The other thing too is we're seeing a greater instance of adoptions in the shelters. I'm a huge rescue fan, and our neighbors are working on rescuing a dog right now. But they, there's some Florida shelters that are reporting they're free of animals in the shelter because everybody's at home and it's therapeutic. And so if you don't have an animal and you maybe don't want to commit long-term, you could foster an animal. There are a lot of foster groups that are very powerful. And Monica just said, my big pit bull takes naps with me. I mean, I know pits get a really bad rap, and we have two that have mixes of some terriers in them. Oh my gosh, they seriously are the best cuddlers. I mean, Daisy just burrows underneath the pillow and like cuddles with you. She's like a human, and she will tuck underneath the covers. They're just so amazing. So think about that if you don't have any. Now, an alternative here is if you have a stuffed animal that's like a dog, or not like a dog, but if you have a stuffed animal and it's soft, like a lot of folks, send folks that are in, grandparents, sometimes they'll send them little cuddle stuff. Even touching something that has fur can invigorate the tactile sensation. So this again is the kind of sensory deprivation. We are lacking touch, tactile deprivation. So really, really powerful. Lori says, is the price shown on the website? No, it's actually pre-discount. So it should calculate that 25% off. So they already have a sale, but then if you add in Calm 25, boom, you're going to get an additional 25% off. Okay, so that is huge. So pets, big, big, big time. Foster if you can. I'm a bleeding heart when it comes to animals. And I even looked at Brian, I'm like, I want a kitty cat. So I might be negotiating that one. Gabriel wants a hamster, of course. But anyway, okay, so number 3, super easy to do. Take longer, hotter showers, longer, hotter baths. So there is an amazing sensation, especially when you're bathing. It brings us back to in vitro. The cocoon, we get the water, really get your head all in the water. Like I'll do breathing exercises depending on how big your tub is. Sometimes you got to go cross-legged, but you can do breathing exercises where you literally, your body is going up and down, obviously making sure that you can breathe, but you can really feel the water on your body. If you have a shower, if you've got one of those adjustments where it's got the kind of like different kind of setting where it's like tick, 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 or it sprays really hard, you can adjust those settings. That will give you the tactile sensation to minimize the deprivation. So you're also going to hit trigger points, particularly on your back that maybe if you're alone, you can't get any way else. That is very powerful at just invigorating that sense. So what we're doing is we're invigorating our tactile sense or sensation. So on the shower bath front, 20 minutes is what's recommended. I know that's a lot for a shower. Bathing obviously is your best choice. The other thing too is add in fragrance. So add in a really nice organic bath bomb. And I could post, Aaliyah is one of my favorite brands for some of those organic ones. Pacha is another one of my favorite bath bombs. Really, really powerful. So Sheila says, I would love a cat or a dog, but hubby won't play. Oh, I'm sorry. Keep working on him. Tell him to consider foster. It's no commitment. And honestly, they end up being the biggest lovers. Men who totally fight that, they tend to be highly connected to animals. I know, Brian totally is. Okay. Let's see here. So Jennifer says, getting ready to go to work right now, and my youngest Pitty just came and sat next to me for hugs. Oh, it's so great. Animals are so great. And they also sense when we need extra love. And I have sensed that they are way more cuddly. One, they're happier, we're home. But definitely. So hot showers, 20-minute baths. Number 4, I have on here using heating packs. So something like, let's say you have lymphedema, it's not advised for you to take a bath. That's okay. You can use warm heated packs. And generally I have them in and around my office because I'm always using them. But they're the little gel packs you can microwave, or the little rice packs, or there's the one that I have, I'll post it, that's like 6 hours long. It's a mega gel one. I love that. But you can, if you're watching TV or laying or whatnot, you can lay on the warmth. Just having the, again, touch, tactile sensation. Heat is a very good tactile sensation invigoration. And it will literally, the C tactile afferents, it will invigorate that. And then you get the oxytocin production. So this is really, really big about invigorating the lack of tactile sensation. So we're invigorating sense, hot being one of them. Now, here are some other things: sensory and kinesthetic therapeutic touch. So daily, I'm going to use this for example. So like I have this on my desk from the other day. Okay, so, there are, and here's some stones. So there's recommendations like to get stones. So these happen to be rose quartz. A lot of people have jewelry that's stone jewelry. Just even like touching it. This is very cool. I have a lot of my gua sha tools are in rose quartz as well. But like even touching beads or kind of rolling them through your fingers and just kind of having that sensation. The other thing, touching a soft material or soft kind of surface, even wood surfaces. So my desk is wooden, even metallic, so like this pen's metallic. Just having a greater connectivity to the brain and what you're touching will invigorate that tactile response. So this is really easy, for folks that have minimal time to, order things online, or finances, or are limited. We have a lot of things that fall into the soft category, like my robe. This is a really soft robe, like just even, kind of stroking a soft tactile robe, or a pillow. A lot of times we have these really cute furry pillows. We have a bunny one that's got metallic, and you kind of stroke the little bunny down and it's silver, and then you stroke it up and it turns to purple. That's another example of that kind of tactile. If you think about like all the toys that you get children, like little kiddos, like little, infants and babies, what they're touching is invigorating that tactile response. We have to go back to touching things that are going to be invigorating that mental brain connection. Same thing, like this is glass, touching and feeling the glass. Even you can put it on your cheek or your neck. But that is very powerful at bringing those sensations. So some of the kind of texture, that I wrote down, silk is another one. So a lot of times we'll have silk scarves or some sort of silkiness in our closets or our linen cabinets. Fur is another one, soft kind of animal fur. Obviously your pets get that, but if you don't have a pet, the kind of animal connection, softness, crystals, glass, metal, wood. So all of the kind of elements, touching the elements. The other thing too I love is getting outside, taking your shoes off, like it's raining now, but going outside, taking your shoes off and putting your feet in grass, in the dirt. Grounding, that's very grounding, but that's a tactile connectivity. That is very powerful for the brain connection. The other thing too that is very powerful, and you guys know I talk a lot about this because I do lymphatic work, and the dry skin body brush. This is a dry bristle brush, and I have links to where you can get these. I love this because this is a kind of the one that has, you can kind of put your hand in, kind of like a horse brush, sort of. Others, like this isn't one, but often you have a handle that can connect out, so then you can get to the back. But dry skin body brushing is an excellent way to invigorate the tactile sensation over your whole entire body. Now, they have different ones for the face. The face, I just do that lymph draining we did. I think it was on Thursday or Friday. But, dry skin body brushing can motivate your lymphatics. So that's very powerful for moving your immune response and getting your body decongested, detoxing. But the tactile connection, and literally just put it on your skin and you can do little circles, but you're always going to be kind of brushing up the legs, brush up the arms, brush up towards the heart, down towards the heart. Dry skin body brushing before a shower. Oh, futuristic, $10 super chat. Thank you. Happy Sunday. Dry skin body brushing is excellent for connecting, invigorating that tactile response and enhancing oxytocin. So I don't really talk a lot about that chemical connection, but it is there. If we do dry skin body brushing every day, it can be very impactful for enhancing the lack of touch we're experiencing because of social distancing. So that is very, very impactful. So dry skin body brushing is really big. If you guys want, I can post my free download. I have a guide that kind of walks you through how to do dry skin body brushing. It is these brushes, it's a natural bristle brush. I don't know if you guys can see this. It's rough. It's very coarse. Now that's great because you're going to get the touch, your brain, the C tactile efferents, they're going to be sending signals. So, your brain's like, oh, I'm getting touched, and you're feeling all over the body. So you're really lighting up that tactile sensation. This is excellent. This really, I should have put this as number one of the best ways. But weighted blanket, dry skin body brushing, and animals, those are really three powerful ways of getting your body reconnected and filling up the touch deprivation. So literally reversing touch deprivation is huge. So let's talk, and that also, like skin hunger, it sounds like it has a really bad phrase, and I'm shocked we haven't had any trollers come on. But this is very, very serious. Like, one of the things that we see with infants that are in adoption or foster care or just neglected, there is a disconnect in the brain process. There's a long-term effect that if we don't address this right now, we could all be in a social distancing. We're trying to keep calm and social distance, as my tank says. But this could be for months. This is a long time. Like, if we do not do these activities, we could have long-term effect. I mean, this is where neurotransmitters and the brain synapses are not going to be firing like they used to. So we have to take measures into our own hands to keep ourselves therapeutically connected. And so that's huge. Futuristic says the right side of my body is slightly number than my left. So that could very well be some cervical or spinal related, firing of the nerves. But again, with dry skin body brushing, I would do this over your whole entire body. Get the long brush and really focus on the back. So there are several ways to do the back, but you just brush all the way down right to, like, there's a lymph drain point right where, like, your butt crack actually begins. It's way, way down. So past the hips, right in that area, you just kind of brush all the way down the spine. And if you had a partner that's there to help you, they can do this. They can also do some other things that I'll kind of dig into as well. But, this is a daily activity. Dry skin body brushing, you do it in the morning and you do it in the evening. Partially it's lymphatic promotive, but most importantly, it's tactile enhancing. So you get that tactile connection. Now, here are some things that you can do. There are apps, there's YouTube videos, yoga, Tai Chi. Yoga is an excellent practice for invigorating and, the holding and elongating. There is a very deep connection to releasing oxytocin. So part of this, the love hormone connection, is also a nerve tonic that we need to address. Tai Chi also. Tai Chi is really easy. What we look at is the reduction of cortisol. It keeps us healthy. It balances the neurotransmitters that could lead to depression, that could lead to that disconnect of self to other, individuals in our sphere and the social connection, but also gives us the happy hormone. Now, the other aspect here is that if you, for whatever reason, cannot do any of these, there's another power, and it's all in the brain and our mind and our connection to memories. So there's actually studies that assess that if you just close your mind, close your eyes, and you go to a memory that invigorates your senses. So let's say it's like Thanksgiving. I always kind of think like my senses are always heightened with Thanksgiving, just the way we had Thanksgiving, going to my grandmother's, lots of love, all of our family, food, taste, all of it. And even the change of the temperature. And so if you can close your eyes and start to feel as if you were there and you experience that happy memory, it will light up the brain in just the same way petting a dog, dry skin body brushing, taking a hot bath, and being under a weighted blanket. So that alone, we can harness the brain memories. Very, very powerful. So let's talk about, for all of you who are with family, who at least has one other person in your household, these are some additional things you can do. Cuddle parties. I know it sounds really crazy, but cuddling, snuggling, hugging, and 20 seconds minimum. So it's not just like, quick hug. No, it is like a full-fledged, like bear hug, hold on, lock in, and just give each other a hug. 20 seconds minimum. That's a long time. Most people kind of do like a quick little hug, but really hug, and cuddling is really key. The other thing is rubbing. I saw somebody had mentioned rubbing, back rubbing. So, take turns, with your nails really gently, like we call it like, Gabriel calls it tickling, where it's like light touch along the back. The back is a really great area. There are a lot of touch points and areas that get invigorated that again light up that brain and will enhance and increase the oxytocin. But like light little feather light touches, just really gentle. With kids, like we even use that as a time to spell out letters. And you can even do that. Like, Brian had done that 2 weeks ago. He was spelling out messages to me on my back and I was like laughing. But like you can do that with kids, A and B. And so you can use it as a way to teach them, but you're also giving them the tactile touch. Very, very powerful. Now, massage. So you guys know we have my mega massage chair. I featured it in other video content. I actually should probably post it. I don't know if they've got a sale, so I have to look into it. But like a massage chair, if you have the means and the space, that seriously is one of the best things I've ever had. We are in it all the time. I am in it in the morning as I prep for my show. I grab, my notepad, usually my phone. I go through all these things. I message myself from the day before and I get my massage. And I spend a lot more time in that. Like, Brian laughed on Friday. I was like, I'm working. I'm like, and the thing elevates. So it like literally leans back and it does all these settings and it's got heat going on. And he's like, sure, you're working. I'm like, this is my office. But literally like giving each other massages and trigger point massages. You can do reflexology massages on each other. This is not rocket science in terms of like, you don't need to have gone to training. I mean, honestly, there are some great resources where you can get the reflexology charts. Like Pinterest is really good. You can print them out. You can identify hands and feet, even ears for yourself as well. Reflexology is another point that you can invigorate the touch and tactile while also employing therapeutic touch. But massage is very key. So foot massages, back massages, arm massages, hand massages, very powerful on each other. And then also, I know, I see it all the time. Lots of memes on Instagram and YouTube, and my friends are all over TikTok right now. So I get all these messages about this time. I get TikTok videos of women complaining about their hair is going gray and their gel nails are like growing out. But you can give each other, scalp massages. So, one of the wonderful things about going to the hairdresser is the scalp massage. Well, you can do that in the shower, but it feels so much better when somebody else does it. So give each other scalp massages. And just that alone is so tactily enhancing to the deprivation. So it fills up those happy hormones that we're decreasing or we're having decreased because of social isolation. The other thing too is, nails, pedicures, manicures, the massage aspect. I mean, that's one of the things. I don't like getting my nails at all. Like, I don't like nail treatments. I don't like any pedicures. But the one wonderful thing is you get the massaging. You get calf massage, you get your feet massage, all of that. Very powerful, very, very enhancing to supporting your tactile experience. And these are ways for you to be less touch deprived, less skin hungry. And I know that sounds really weird, but we're touch starved. And the tactile connection of hugging and high-fiving, even I read this one article, there's actually research on it. It's like gentlemen, that are in sports, while they're not hugging and touching, or, like hugging each other, they are patting, they like pat each other on the butt, and they're like, even just like, the kind of huddling and all that stuff, high-fiving, there is touch connection. And we are all lacking that, especially if you are in any team sports, softball leagues and soccer and volleyball and all of these things that were a social connection, but also a touch connection. Men and women, children, teenagers, and our elders, we all need these activities. And so that is such a great way to nourish your family members. And so one of the things for all of you, I'd love for you to relay this message, these tips. I had everything all aligned, and then like my computer shut off. So I will go back and kind of add some things in the edits, and I'll list all these. But literally, this would be something that would be really helpful for especially all of our family members that are by themselves. There are a lot of things that they can do to support that lack of touch. And that is very powerful. That love hormone is extremely powerful. The love hormone is the opposite of the death hormone. And the lack of touch is not healthy for us. And we are, even like the research, like Americans and even, folks that live in the UK, they're less touchy-feely than like the Spaniards and the Italians. And, like they're really feeling it quite a bit because of that just everyday kind of social connection, touchy-feely. But we have a lot of folks here that their main love language is touch and expression via a physical connection. So that is something we need to invigorate. Let's see. So did you like this? Give me a thumbs up if you felt like this was impactful and powerful. Futuristic, I'm so grateful for your super chat, $10. I'm so grateful. Thank you. Thank you. And the big things here, the weighted blanket, animals, the hot bath, dry skin, body brushing, really big. I've got the weighted blanket. There's a 25% off coupon code. They're amazing. The jersey knit is awesome. The one that I use, let me share with you. The one that I love, let's see. Let me open it up here. The one that I use is the one in the middle. And it's literally like, and I'll have to take a picture of it. I just washed the cover. But it's that kind of pewter gray. It's very appealing in our bedroom. I just really love it. So that's the one that I totally use. My computer's running slow. Okay. All right. So let me see if I can get back to that. The internet's running really slow. Let's see. The one that I use, if I go to shop, it is the middle one, the sensory. The sensory one's the one I love. So they've got the original bamboo. Oh, so great. That's the one that we have downstairs. The sensory bamboo, it's got like little bubbles on it. Oh, it's so fantastic. And then you can get different duvet covers, which is pretty cool. So do check that out. I really am a huge fan of that. But weighted blankets, you're going to sleep anyway. Most of you have blankets or some sheet that you put over. Might as well just take it up a notch. While you're sleeping, get therapy, very powerful. The cost of it far outweighs the benefits far outweigh the cost of it. They're a little pricey, but again, with that 25% off, you might be able to even score about half off your normal pricing. Oh, wow. The Postal Service is here. How crazy. They're working on Sunday. Things are taking forever. So if you guys have ordered stuff from us, some of the items have shipped and I'm being received. So I don't know what's going on with the U.S. Postal Service, other than it sounds like the government wants to bankrupt them. That's crazy. All right. So you guys, so everybody on Instagram, DM me if you want that link. On YouTube, it allows me to put links in the description box. So that's why I always reference like down below, there's a link or the coupon code. I can send that directly to you if you DM me on Instagram. But I hope this was helpful. It doesn't look like it's too crazy out, but I wanted to make sure I got through this before we had a power outage or crazy booming and flickering of lights, because if I lost this, it would be very frustrating. So I want to wish everybody a happy Sunday. Get rest, relax, do your dry skin body brushing, take a warm shower, do a cuddle fest, grab your animals, love on them longer. Same with your family members if you're at home with them. And yeah, super, super powerful. So thanks, everybody. I hope you all have a wonderful Sunday. Tune in tomorrow, 9 a.m. for our normal programming, and hopefully it'll be nicer weather out. All right, everybody. Thank you so much. Give me a thumbs up for Instagram if you want to do a little screen grab. Share this on your stories. Tag me at Natural Health Resources. That's always helpful. And hit the like for YouTube. Subscribe if you're new. Follow me here if you're new on Instagram. And hit the share button. I'm really grateful. My goal on Instagram, I really like to get to 10,000 followers, because then I could actually link to all these things that I recommend in my stories. So it totally helps me, Instagram, if you tag friends on any of my story posts. So I'm grateful. All right. Thanks, everybody. Happy Sunday. And I am going to enjoy my coffee, cuddling on the couch with my favorite dog because she loves me. And I'm excited. All right, everybody. Have a great day. Bye-bye. Thank you, YouTube. And thank you again, Futuristic, for the $10 super chat. Super powerful. Very, very grateful. Joanne, I just love the bamboo. It's a huge, huge fan. Like, I just love bamboo. It's natural, breathable, very powerful. And yeah, so I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a great Sunday. And please check me out on Instagram. If you guys are curious about what's going on in my garden, Brian has been rocking out. He's building a custom fence, and my gate is up, my beautiful Victorian gate. And I'm going to be ordering some Victorian solar lights for the posts. I'm so excited. So check it out. I've got stories over on Instagram now. And I hope you guys have a great Sunday. Oh, Futuristic, $3. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Let's see. Do you think the 12 pound is enough as the 15 pounds are out? Depends on your weight. So on the weighted blankets, they say 10 to 15% of your body weight. I personally have the 15. I would go, I could go 20. But I tell you what, they're heavy. They're a lot heavier than you even realize. Like when they come, it's a heavy box. So amazing. All right, friends. Oh, and also Lori, if it's less, you can try it out, whatever weight you want to try out. And then you can always have that downstairs as like a blanket, and then, elevate maybe up the weight upstairs. All right, friends. Thanks, everybody. Have a good day. Bye.